Dear friends, welcome back to Automate with Rakesh. In this video, using UiPath AI Center, we are going to build a new project which is going to detect object from an image. So if you provide an image, it can easily detect what kind of objects are present inside that image. This is an interesting AI capability we are going to learn in this video. So let's move on to UiPath AI Center. The very first thing, let's create a project, provide a name. I'm going to say object detection ML, machine learning, and I'm going to click on create. And then I'm going to show you the ML package. First, let's understand the ML package. Based on that, we will decide what kind of a data is required, why it is required, and rest of things. So first, I'm going to click on ML packages. Here you have something called out of box packages, and then inside that there is something called open source packages. Here you have multiple different things. I'm going to click on image analysis, and inside this you have something called object detection. So this is the package I'm going to use inside the out of box packages. Let me click on object detection. Now it is very important to read the description before you try to use any machine learning package that are available. Now let's read it. This is generic retrainable deep learning model. Let me slightly expand. Okay, this is a generic retrainable deep learning model. Generic means you can use for any kind of images. This ML package is pre-trained on COCO dataset. So what is this COCO dataset? You might have already heard about it, but let me show you what is a COCO dataset. COCO dataset stands for Common Objects in Context dataset. So this is a huge and very large dataset where the machine learning model is trained. So let me show you. If you are aware, there is a site called kaggle.com. Go to this site. If you have, if it is the first time, it might ask you to register. You can sign in, or else simply you can also look for datasets. And here I am going to type COCO 2017. So if you see, there's a dataset called COCO 2017 dataset. If you open this, you can see the size of the dataset, 27 GB. That's a huge amount of images are kept. Now, this particular model that we saw in AI Center, this is already trained with 80 classes of COCO dataset. So it is a heavy training has been done to the model already. This is open source ML. So this is already trained with 80 classes of COCO dataset. Now, what is there inside the COCO dataset? So you understood it's a common objects in context dataset. Now, what is inside? Let me show you. Let me scroll down. Okay, so here you can see there are around 40,000 plus test files. This is only for 2017. You will have different versions of it. So there are test data, there are trained data, there are 118K files are there. If you click on this, all kinds of images has been kept, and the ML learning had been trained on all of these images and more than this. Okay, this is just one part of the COCO dataset. I'm saying there is a huge amount of datasets, millions of images on which this ML might have been trained already. So this is already a pre-trained model. Okay, you can also train it on your own data. It is saying you can still train it on your own data and create an ML skill and use for performing object detection, where it will now work on your data. If you train it, it is going to work on your data. This deep learning model uses you only look once, YOLO. So this is a machine learning algorithm. If you would like to know a little more about this before we start using this, so what is YOLO algorithm? Okay, you only look once. is a real-time object detection algorithm that uses a deep convolutional neural network to detect object in images in from objects in images and videos or live feeds. So this is one of the fastest algorithm to detect object. So this is one of the popular and very fastest algorithm. So they have all this is the algorithm been used in this particular machine learning package, which is a state of the art and one of the most effective object detection algorithm that also encompasses many of the most innovative ideas evolving from the field of computer vision. So for object detection, they are using a technique called computer vision. So what is computer vision? Computer vision is a technology through which the algorithm can understand the objects that are present inside the image or a video or a live stream. It can automatically detect. So this machine learning model, which is known as object detection, has already been trained with 80 classes of COCO dataset. You saw one dataset, it was only 27 GB. So you can imagine how large a training had already been done. Okay, but still you can retrain this particular model with your own images, with your own videos or whatever you have. All right, so now you have got an idea of this machine learning. Input description. So what kind of an input it accepts? Path to the image to be analyzed. So here will be providing for this open source, we'll be using images. Path to the image to be analyzed, you have to provide, and this is how the output will appear. Okay, so this uses, so as the output sends you something like this predicted byte array. So what is this predicted byte array and how to use that in the studio for this project? Everything I will explain in detail. So for the moment, what we will do, we'll simply use this image. So what we have done, we went to ML packages, we went to out of box packages, okay, and then we went to open source packages, and here image analysis, object detection. That's all. I'm going to hit on submit. Let's give it a name, object detection PKG ML machine learning package, and then I'm going to hit on submit. No changes required, only you select and submit, that's all. So what happened here, this particular ML package is undeployed, so you have selected, that's all, you have not still used it. To use it, because in this project I'm not going to train this particular machine learning package, I'm directly going to use it because it is already well trained. I'll go to ML skills, and here I'm going to click on create new, and let us give a name to this. So I will say object detection ML skill. Okay, and then I'm going to choose the package version, minor version, and rest I would leave as it is and hit on create. So what would happen after some time, this state would change to available. So now it is deploying, it will take some time, wait for some time, and after that, once it is available, we will continue to go to UiPath Studio and build a project by using this ML skill. After waiting for some time, I can see the ML skill is now available for use. So let's see how we can use it on UiPath Studio. The very first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to use the activity called ML skill. As earlier I have already stated, this activity is part of which package, do you remember? This is part of UiPath.ml services.activities. So that you need to add in your packages. Now let me show you how this model works. So I'm connecting through my robot connections. My studio is already connected to the same tenant. If it is already connected, then the ML skill which you have made available, that will automatically appear here. Or else you can refresh, it should automatically appear. Only thing I have done is I have selected that specific skill. This particular ML skill requires an input. So what is that input? It requires the image, for example. So let me give one image. Let me show you some of the images that actually I have downloaded. So for example, let me go to this particular folder, AI Center Dataset, Object Detection folder. So what I have done here is I have kept few images. Okay, so you can see these are the images that you can easily get it from Pixabay or some, you can download some the images that are available. So I have downloaded few images, and this images I'm going to feed it to the machine learning. So what I'm going to do, let me pick one image for the moment. I'm going to right click on this image, shift right click on the image, and I'm going to copy as path. And in the studio, I'm going to simply pass this path. I'll show you how you can use it for multiple uh, files, how you'll create that logic. I'll show you that later. But at the moment, just understand how this works. So what I have done, I have passed the entire path of that image, and I'm going to hit on save. So what happens? This gives you a JSON response. I'll create a variable called JSON response. Okay. Now let's understand how this JSON response comes, what exactly comes inside that. Let's understand that first. So I'm going to use a write line activity. Okay. And here I'm going to select JSON response. So let's do one thing just to keep it simple. I will select an image. Let's say, for example, I'm selecting the image of a dog or a bird. For example, I'll select this image because there are multiple images here that we are going to use anyways. But at the moment, let me use a simple image having a single object here. So there is a bird. Right click on this, copy as path, shift and right click, and then I'm going to pass this bird image. Let's see what kind of output it gives. Okay, done. I'm going to hit on save, and I'm going to simply run this, debug this. I'm just providing one single image at the moment. Okay, so you can see it has completed the job. Let's go to the output panel. See, this kind of output has come. Look at it. Such a big output. Now you will say, Rakesh, it has not actually produced what we need, right? Let me go to a notepad and I'm going to paste this output here. Look at this big output. Now, what is this output? I will show you how you can convert this output to an image. Okay. Now, right now it is only a lengthy string. There is nothing else, right? Now, if you look at the prediction, what happened? It has predicted the image that you have provided to the ML. It predicted it is a bird and it has got 1.00. That means 100%. It has accurately detected it is a bird only. That is a score 1. 100% detected. Now, the kind of a output that it brings is predicted byte array. So what is this predicted byte array? This is important. And look at this. This has got a lot of strings of text. Do you see? It's a long string. So what is this? We have to understand. So what you have to focus now, what is this predicted byte array? As an output it has come. So this byte array is actually long array of strings, and this is called base 64. Base 64 is a kind of a format which transfer, for example, I would like to transfer an image to a different network. That time, what it does, the entire image is now converted into base 64. It will convert that entire image, all the dots, all the symbols, all the, all the pixels, and convert that to a long stream of, text, or it's all text. You can see it, right? It's huge. Even in the UiPath output panel, it kept dot dot dot. That means it is still long, and entire image is converted into only strings. You can see only the text is coming, and that makes no sense to you. But I'll show you what is this base 64. Let me first explain you this specific term, which is the predicted byte array. So this is actually called base 64 codes. So what is this base 64 code? For that, let me open a website. So simply type base 64 encode decode, base 64 encode decode. And there are multiple sites available. I'm going to open one of the site, base64encode.net. So what this does, I am going to show you. So what this does, in this one, there is a option on the right hand side called image to base64. So it can convert an entire image to, to strings of text, a long string of text. Click on this and select an image. I am going to select the bird image at the moment. Okay. So now it has uploaded, and after it has uploaded, if you click on this download output, see, it has got you a text, and you can see how long this text is. You can see this bar, right? See, such big text. The entire image is now transferred to stream of text. Okay, you can see this. What I will do, I'll take this text, for example, I'll copy the entire text. There is another option available here. It has encoded the image into streams of strings or text. Now, if I click on this base64 decode, if I paste that specific code here, this text, right? If I'm passing it here and scroll down and hit on decode, okay, and here, wait a second. So here you have to first select base64 to image and then paste the code. Okay, paste the code and then hit on decode image. Now wait for a second. What this will do, it will automatically convert that code into the image. You can see the original image has appeared here. So you now understood you can convert an image to strings, and the strings can again be decoded back to the image. Just now we saw that. Okay, it got refreshed. So this is how it works. Now what this ML skill has given you, if you go back to the studio, it has given you this base64 code, and this is called the byte. This is called predicted byte array. This entire code is called predicted byte array. So now you got an idea what is it. The ML skill is only going to give you strings of text, and how in UiPath Studio you will convert that strings of text to an image. I'm going to show you. So this much is understood. Let's go back to UiPath Studio. Okay, now here what we will do, because there are multiple images that you would like to process at a time, so I'll use something called for each file in folder. There is activity called for each file in folder. All you have to do, select that folder where you have files or images. I'll go to the object detection image folder, and here this is the folder I would like to go through. So actually this folder has got another yeah, so this folder has got all the images. Yeah, so I'll simply select that particular path and hit on select folder. Okay, so I have selected that particular path where I have kept my images. Simple, done. And inside this I'm going to use the ML skill. Inside this I'm going to use the ML skill. Now how do you pass each file here? Because you are inside a for each file in loop, so this current file variable will hold each file path. So all you have to do, instead of passing one file, you can dynamically do it simply by deleting the previous path which I have written, and I'm going to simply say current file dot toString. So that way it is going to pass the path of all the images one by one. So it will feed one image and then give you the output. So once it feeds the data, what kind of output you are receiving? The JSON response. Just now you saw that JSON response, right? How it comes. And what key you are going to use out of it? The predicted byte array, right? This is what I'm going to use it. Okay, so here the very first activity what I'm going to write is, I'll delete that right line. Here I will use another activity called deserialize JSON. And as you already know, in the previous videos you have already learned it, deserialization is part of UiPath .web API activities. If you don't have it or if you don't get it, you have to install the package. I'll pass the JSON response and I'll convert this to a JSON object. Okay, now I'll use assign activity and I want to get that byte array. So what I will do, I'll simply say, so this is a base 64, right? I explained you. So base 64 string I need. So I'll create a string variable, which is, I just named it as base 64. Control K and paste. Enter. Okay, so if you look at now, base 64 is a string variable which I have created. And here I will write a small code. So what contains your output? Finally the JSON object after you have done the deserialization. So JSON object, and inside the bracket you have to use that key that you have just got. So how will you get the key? The key is there in the output panel. So predicted byte array, or else you can simply go to your UI AI Center, select the ML package out of the box, open source, image analysis, object detection. So here you can also get the key from here. Predicted, uh, this one, predicted byte array. Okay, let's get this and then go back to Studio, minimize this. And here I'm going to pass that particular value. Okay, so I've passed that value and I'll simply say dot to string. Done and save it. So that's all. Uh, did I make some spelling mistake? I think so. Predicted byte array. Okay, so this is all good. I'm going to hit on save. So what happened? Now the base 64 is going to contain that entire string, the long string. Now there is an activity in UiPath called save image activity. So this activity requires a variable of image type. So if you pass the image here, it can store where you want. So save image. I would like to store the image on this folder, that you can pass that path. Now this requires a variable which is should be an image type. So for that, I'm going to use another assign activity above it. And here let me create a variable called image. And this image variable should not be a string type, rather it should be an image type. So this image type is available under system.drawing.images. Okay, system.drawing.image, and I'm going to hit on OK. Got it? So you got the image variable here. Now this expression what I'm going to write is very, very important. So how do you convert? So right now the only thing you have is the base 64 string, right? So from that string, how would you convert it to an image? I'm going to show you. So for that, you open this code and follow me. So what you have to do, first thing you have to write system.drawing. So what kind of a variable you have created? From system.drawing.image, right? You'll write that. Now this image variable, how do you convert that base 64 string to image? Now this image variable accepts something called from stream. So I'll explain this. Let me first write the code. So it accepts something called from stream. Stream means what? It is a memory of bytes. So what I will do, new memory or memory stream. So memory stream is nothing but it's, this is what the dot image method will accept. I'll explain everything in detail once again, but look at this. So right now, this I'll put it in parenthesis and I'm going to use convert from base 64 string. So I'm going to convert that variable which we have just created called base 64 string, right? This variable we have created in the previous assign activity, right? So base 64 string. So look at the code now. So what is it? First of all, I have a string. This base 64 is a string variable. So it's going to convert this string into base 64 string. So it is a normal string, it will convert into base 64 string. So that means this particular method, if you just click on the method, it will give you what kind of output it will produce. Just a second. Yeah. So you can see it produces something called byte. So let me write it on a notepad so that I can explain you pretty clearly. So understand this one is giving you the output as bytes. So what happened? Your string Your base 64 is nothing but a string, right? So what happened? The string getting converted to what? To stream of bytes, okay? Or converting into bytes. Now this bytes will convert. So look at this method. So this is converting entire thing into bytes. So new memory dot stream. So this thing got converted into bytes. Okay, so this is byte, and if you hit on the memory stream, this is converting that byte into stream. So stream, this dot image method requires something, the bytes of stream. Okay, so these bytes are converted into, memory stream. So these bytes will now convert it into stream of bytes, so you can call, or memory stream, whatever you like to call. So it is just getting the string values, converting that into base 64, and the base 64 is converting into memory of stream of bytes. Okay, so that's all. So this is the code that you have to use, and then this becomes an input for the dot image. So this will take this input and convert that entire string into into an image. The same thing that you saw on the site, right? Just now I was working on that site, right? The site was doing the same thing behind the scene, and here in the UiPath Studio, you have to write this code to do it. So now the base 64 string will get converted finally to an image. Okay, so this is the code. Make a note of this. I'm going to save this. And all I have to do, I have to pass the variable image variable into the save image. Now you would like to store these images once it has detected the objects from the image. You would like to store it in a specific location. So where is that location? So let me go to my folder. So I've created something here called output folder. So what kind of an output it will bring? Let me show you. So this is how the output will come. Traffic light, person, there's a person standing here. These are the car, this is a truck, right? All these things are automatically detected. This is how the object detection will happen behind the scene. So what I am going to do, this output folder, let me make it blank. So this is the path where I would like to pass it. So I'll copy this path, go here, and within double quotes, let me paste it. So while pasting, at the end you have to provide. So this actually requires, for example, if I save this actually what it says, file name. You have to provide the name of the file. So you have given the path, but you have to also give the name of the file, right? What kind of a name, .png, whatever that name is. So what I will do, I'll use plus sign, use the path dot get file name. We are inside a for each loop, and I'm going to use that variable called current file, right? Current file dot toString. Current file is the for each loop variable, okay? Dot toString. Done. So that way this is going to give you the name of the image. So where are my images? Okay, so here, so every image has a name, right? Bird 873.180.jpg. So it will take that entire name and keep the same name to the output file also. Okay, so here this is the location and this is the name of the file. Getting it? I'm going to hit on save. Done. Now this is the time to test and see how the object detection is done. Now my output folder is entirely blank, and the AI model is going to use all these images as I have supplied as an input. All these images will be fed one by one through the for each system. Okay, this is where the images are kept in this folder. Okay, now let's run this and see how it works. Save it. I'm going to debug this. Now if you see, the for each loop is trying to execute. Okay, so actually it is getting executed behind the scene. So now everything got executed. Let's see the output panel. Yes, took 16 seconds. That's fine. Now let's go back to the output folder which I had kept blank. Now let me show you each image. For example, this image, if I zoom it, it says bird 100%. 1.00 means 100% it has detected. Okay. Now how about this image? So it has detected this image as person. Very good. How about this image? So here very small it is written dog 0.92% accuracy. So this also it has detected. Now let's see this image, person with 100%. So it has detected multiple persons. Looks good. Now here this is a complex image, got a lot many things. So car, person, traffic, person, car, traffic light. There's another traffic light there. Even I can't see it, but you can see even it is hard to see that on naked eye, but the computer vision has detected that car, person, there's some person standing here, some person standing here, car. So you can see how nicely this ML model, object detection, has worked, and what kind of a output finally you can expect from the machine learning model, and how to implement everything in the studio. That was more important, the logic, the code, and everything that we have written. I think with this you can build probably a project for any specific use case that you might be working on. So in case this video was helpful, do not forget to write a comment. If you're watching this video till the end, please do write a comment that you have watched the video till the end, or simply say completed. So it will be very nice to see that people are really, utilizing my efforts to their benefit. So please do let me know if this video was helpful or not in the comment section. Thank you guys for watching. Let's meet once again in the next content. Till then, take care.